Welcome. Today, I wanted to talk to you about how I came to my understanding of money, of wealth creation. Uh, I think it all started back when I was a young child. I sort of was a exploratory individual. I would go and take trips all around the world. And excuse me, a little ahead of myself. I would take trips all around my state and my local area. I'd hop on the train, hop on the bus, go to New York City, go to Philadelphia. And that came with an expense. As we all know in life, there are expenses. And I needed to fund those expenses. So I would go out and I was 15 probably at the time. I was young, really explored on my exploration times. And I need the money to get on the bus, get on the train. I want to go different places, taste different foods, and uh, and do a little shopping. So I had to figure it out. So I was a young hustler, and I'd go and cut grass, I'd mow your lawns, I'd shovel your snow and pick the weeds in your backyard, and you know, if you, I would walk my entire little town with a lawnmower and the weed whacker and knock door to door. I do that all day long. On the weekends, I didn't really have people to go with me. I had one friend, he would come every once in a while, but he was pretty much very much like me. Solo, I'm gonna do my own thing this weekend. And we would get together every once in a while. We go cut grass. But most of the time I'd be out there knocking door to door, in this predominantly white town by myself. And it was really just hard to make a buck. And that taught me rejection, for one. That taught me hard work. And that taught me, you gotta be uh, a good steward of the dollars you earn, because them days are long. That work be hard. So you better steward them dollars well, because it take a little bit to get that money. So, I started earning money. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty nice. This is pretty nice. And I went on to work other jobs. I worked at Foot Locker for a while when I was like 17, 18. I was like the third manager in line. I had a key to the store, and I was a sales lead. And, I was like, okay, I'm making money now. Like, you can make $1 out here. So, I moved on to bigger and better things, joined the military. And in the military, they, I went all around the world. I had a bunch of fun. We're not going to talk about that today, but I had a ball in the military. It took me all around the world, and I've had some great experiences, met some wonderful people, uh, lifelong relationships. But in the military, they emphasize stewarding the dollars you earn well. They emphasize a lot of things. They emphasize physical fitness, obviously. They emphasize mental fortitude. So they want you to continuously evolve as a person in your mental state. They want you to educate yourself. They want you going to school, university. They want you going to schools, education outside of a university. So that may be military schools, that may be any type of education. They want you to continuously evolve in order to go up the pipeline. Going up the pipeline comes with what? More money, more income, more responsibility. And, it's, they emphasize the financial aspect of evolving as a person. Outside of fitness, mental fortitude, education, teamwork, your job, becoming an expert at what you do, they emphasize financial stability. They're not like, hey, take this money, be stable. No, they're like, here, take this money, and here, go to this class also. Sorry if this chair is squeaking, y'all. Excuse the chair squeaking. I'm a pipe down in my movements. But I'm out on the road right now. I'm exploring the world. Airbnb to Airbnb, hotel to hotel. I'm sort of a gypsy. I'm sort of a nomad, and I like to move around the world a lot. It's one of my passions. Back to what I was saying about the financial aspect about handling money in the military. So they give you money, a decent income, then they also give you the class and the education on how to handle money. And I would go through these classes. I'm a young private, been in a year from been in the military for 1 year, maybe 1 or 2 years. And, every year you have to go through these classes on financial mastery and financial education and limiting your debt and just being an overall good steward of your money. So I'm sitting there like, hold on. I learned how to make money years ago, back when I was 15 years old, because I had a job to travel the world and go to different places and be exploratory. Now they're educating me because I'm making money. And I'm like, hold on. I'm not just going to let this breeze past me and just let it just be something that comes and goes. No, it's going to be something that I'm going to hold on to. So I started holding on to these, different financial skills that they were imbuing into my mental. And then I would go even deeper and I would go sit down with people. I go sit down with the finance person. Say, yo, what this look like? What I got to do to get to where I'm trying to go? Well, you got to do this, and this. While I'm on it. I'm on it. Because for one, I like to go and do stuff. I like to have fun in this world. And number two, I like having money. Because when I have money, I get to do what? I get to spend money. I get to have nice things. I get to go around the world. I get to go on vacations. I get to do what I want. I get to, you know what I mean? So I'm like, hold on. If I really get good at money, I really have money to do what I want in this life. So I'm like, all right. So I'm taking these financial traits, and then I started going to church. Had a guy in the military I was with. He's like, yo, come to church with me. Come to church with me. Everybody else, yeah, majority of people will be like, nah, I ain't going to church with you, man. I was like, I kind of grew up in church. I'll go to church with you. Went to the church. I'm like, hold on. I kind of like this church. What happened when I went to church? They was teaching about money in there too. I'm like, oh my God. They teaching about it out of the Bible in a biblical framework. And then they're having educational classes on money in the church. So I came across Dave Ramsey. I was like, oh, this guy, Dave Ramsey, he talking about get out of debt, stay out of debt. And at the time, I did have a little bit of debt, but I was always good at, I never miss a payment. Always had a little extra money left over. But I was like, it's just a payment. You know what I mean? I got a car, I got a credit card, ain't nothing. I was like, hold on. He talking about you ain't got to live in payments. You ain't got to live in debt. See, I came from a space where it was really just trying to figure out a way to make some money, Isaac. Make some money. And then do what you sort of want with it. And, go and travel the world and have fun and, try to hold on to a little bit of it. And if you want to get a credit card or, a car loan, go get it, man. But I was in church and they was giving these educational classes. I'm like, hold on. You telling me there's people out here that do not borrow money, that don't go into debt for anything? Like they live this way, like for their entire life? Yeah. And I was like, hold on. Why can't I do that? So I started down the path of, breaking free from bondage, slavery. And while I was in church, they was also talking about being a cheerful giver, being a person of generosity, tithing, giving money away. And I was like, hold on. Like, I know how to spend money and I know how to be decently good with money. And at this point, I'm breaking free from debt because I'm learning. I could probably give a little bit of money away every month that I get, that I make, that I earn. I'm like, hold on. Let's just start giving 10% away. Give 10% away. So I started giving 10% away while I was still in debt. Paying off debt, still giving it 10%, still giving it 10%. And it wasn't always it wasn't just linear, or not linear, but it wasn't just all consistent. Sometimes I, fall off the horse, got to get back on the horse. We all go through it. But I was like, hold on, I know how to spend money. Because I learned that when I was a young kid, because I was a hustler. I knew how to make $1. I knew how to spend money and be decently good with money. Then I went to church and they taught me how to break free from debt. And I was like, hold on, now I know how to break free from debt and give money. And I was like, hold on, now what's next? So I broke free from debt November 15th, 2015. And I was like, hold on, I got no payments. I know how to spend money. I'm giving money every month. Now what? Dave Ramsey, talks about investing your money. So I started, we had the thrift savings plan in the military, just similar to a 401k. And they were like, invest in your 401k, invest in your thrift savings plan. I was like, all right, let me just put some money in here. I don't really know what it's doing, but let me just get on it. I have always been the type of person, I don't really know sometimes, but I'm going to just sort of trek through it. And hopefully we get somewhere. Hopefully I learn something. And I'm going to probably fall on the journey. But let me just see, what can I learn from it? Sometimes it's fun to fall. Sometimes it'd be fun to fall. Sometimes it'd be a ball to get out there and do something, fall flat. I got to get back up from this. But looking backwards, you can connect the dots a lot easier. So you just connect the dots and you say, oh, I missed that dot. It actually goes here, and just continue down the path. That's what happens in life with everything you do. So, I started investing and I'm doing a thrift savings plan. And then I got with somebody and I sat down with a lady. She called me, I went on DaveRamsey.com and I think now it's called Ramsey Solutions. And I looked up an investment advisor. So I found the lady and, she called me out to her house. I got off work one day in the military, one of my ACUs, and that's your Army combat uniform. I'll walk up to her house, pull up to her house in my 97 F-150 that I had been driving for years. Because once I broke free from debt, it was like, I don't really need to be driving all this fancy stuff. I could drive this 97 F-150 with 175,000 miles on it, and I'm good. So I pull up to her house, and I said, hold on. I'm starting to see similarities. She got this old like Lincoln out front. I'm like, dang. I thought I'll pull up here. She got Lamborghinis and Bentleys. So she got a huge house out on the water, out on the marsh. And I'm like, oh, it's beautiful out here. It's one of them houses, you pull into the development, you don't just pull in and like it's one street, you pull into the house. Now you got to sort of meander your way through until you get to that person's house. The development's massive, and each house has a lot of space. Space as in yard space. So I pull up, sit down. She like, hey, Isaac, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. She like, this is what I think you should do. And to this day, I still invest in the same exact thing. And it's been a little less than a decade. Right around almost going on a decade now. Probably like 6-7 years. So, I pull up to her house and she's giving me all this game. She's like, hey, you're debt free. You're managing your money well. Continue doing what you're doing. Invest in this every month. And it wasn't just like, hey, do this. It was like, hey, Let's talk about you. Let's get an understanding of where you're trying to go. And this is, I emphasize this too. If you're ever going to sit down with a finance professional, someone who's going to advise you on what you should invest in, you shouldn't really just go with the person that says, hey, invest in ABC. You want them to explain, you want them to teach you. Dave Ramsey says, you want somebody who's going to have a heart of a teacher. You don't need someone that's just going to tell you what to do. You need someone who's going to give you the information as a teacher. Because when you're taught the information, it's not for now. It's for the long haul. Because when you're going off the long haul, you got to understand that there's going to be pitfalls. It's not all linear. Sometimes there's pitfalls and there's ups and there's downs, and you have difficult, challenging times in your own life financially where you're going through things and you got unique circumstances that you never thought would ever happen. And, you're just like, oh, what do I do? When you bring someone on your team who has a heart of a teacher, it helps you get through a lot of that. It helps you get through the muck. It helps you get through the challenge, those sort of horrific times that we go through. So, I was doing that, the investing thing, and I realized over time, I learned from the age of like 15 to the age of like now, and I realized I learned to spend money, I learned to give money, and I learned to invest money, save money. And those are the three things you can do with money. You can give it, you can save it, and you can spend it. So I learned along the way how to do all three of those things well. And that's sort of how my financial journey started to come together. And then I just you start getting curious. You start to get curious when you're out here on this journey and you're doing well. Well, what else could I do? I know y'all talk about this money thing, but what else could this money thing get me outside of a big home and, cars and materials? And what else could this stuff get me? Fancy dinners out and, lavish vacations. What else could this money get me? And I started thinking about that. And I started to think on that for years. And I've come to the conclusion that it buys you choice. It buys you freedom. It buys you autonomy. It buys you the ability to negotiate areas of your life. Now, if you got money, that don't mean you macho, man. You could just do whatever you want. Macho woman, you could do whatever you want. No. But that does put you in a position when you are spending well, you are giving well, you are spending, you are giving, you are saving well. I mean, you're saving a significant portion of your income, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% of your income. When you learn how to do that, because you have gained the art of becoming crafty with your money, you're pulling out everything from every dollar you come across instead of just taking the easy route and, hey, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. It's easy. It's not so easy to be resourceful. It's not so easy to think and be creative when it comes to your money. Not creative in like, how can I double my money tomorrow? Creative as in, what do I need? What do I want? How do I make those things happen in a reasonable manner while securing, I wouldn't say securing, but let's call it increasing the odds of security. I don't even like that word security really, because ain't nothing secure. When I use that word secure, it seems like you're holding on to something. Like, I can't let it go. I let it all go. I go sleep on a bench somewhere. I let it all go. Because my faith, my security ain't in the dollar. I don't really care about the dollar too much. And you'll probably get to that point when you start giving, saving, and spending well, and you break free from bondage and slavery, which is debt. You'll start to see money ain't even that important. Being resourceful, being creative, being someone of great thought. That's more important than having a bunch of money. Earning a bunch of money, earning a ton of money ain't nothing. Anybody could go earn a ton of money. Yeah, and then you're locked down to the 9 to 5. Then I start, this is the thoughts I'm having, y'all. These are the thoughts I'm having. Anybody go make 150K, anybody go make 100,000, 100,000 ain't nothing really. These days, it is something, but it ain't nothing to really go get. Because I've experienced it in my own life. Nothing to go get 100 grand a year. Just go get it. Takes a little work. But then you're locked down to the 9 to 5. And I was like, these are the thoughts I'm having, y'all. These are the thoughts I'm having. I don't really want to be locked down to that 9 to 5. I would rather sort of create something of my own. And it might not make 6 figures. It might make $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year, $50,000, $60,000 a year. Who knows? Now, when I'm plugging those holes at the bottom of this bucket, because I came across a guy who said, we're so focused on the faucet, getting that faucet to run more money. I need more money out of this thing. These are the thoughts I'm having, y'all. When instead, we need to be plugging the holes in this bucket that's catching the water. Because the water comes in, yes. We could go make 100K a year. We go make 50, we go make 60, $70,000 a year. It's no problem. But you're locked down to the 9 to 5. These are the questions I'm having, y'all. How do I break free from that? And the guy was saying, like, you got the water pouring into the bucket, and at the bottom of the bucket, there's holes. And those are the expenses, and the water's leaking out. But we're so focused, I got to make more money. Run this faucet. Run it. How do I make more money? That's what everybody's focused on. How do I get more money out of this thing? When in reality, it's like plug the holes. Because when you plug the holes, the bucket fills up. You got enough money. Boss is getting on my nerves. I ain't with that stuff they doing. I ain't what they talking about. I'm not on board with that. Out of here. Now, you don't just do that, when you ain't got no money, you up to here in debt and you living paycheck to paycheck. See how I started this? I started back when I was 15. Remember when I was mowing them lawns? Walking from town, from one end of my town to the other end of my town, mowing them lawns, and I was learning how to make money and spend money and be decently good with money. And then what? I joined the military and got educated on how to handle money, on how to steward the resources that I was earning. And then I started to break free from debt. And then what I was doing also, I was learning how to give money because I was going to church, learning how to do well with money. And then what? I went, and after I broke free from debt, I learned how to spend money. I learned how to give money. Now I was learning how to invest money. Remember I went and sat down with that lady in that big house on that marsh? She was giving me all that game, and she had a heart of a teacher, and she was educating me on how to be good with money, and not how to be good with money, on how to invest my money and how to stay in this thing for the long haul and not be so much tomorrow. Right? Then what? I started crafting ideas in my mind. Okay, y'all live that way, but how do I want to live? I might only want to work 8 months out of the year. I may only want to work 10 months out of the year. How do I do that? Remember, I came across the guy that was giving the game on how to the faucet in the bucket in the holes. Remember that? Well, plug the holes. And I started plugging the holes. How did I start plugging the holes? No, it wasn't just plug this hole, kick that expense, kick that expense. I don't need that. I don't. No. It came over time. It was a continuously evolving thing. I had to continuously evolve. How do I plug this hole? How do I not need so much here? How can I go without in this area? How can I cut back in this area? Without like, oh man, I can't have it. I need to just, life is just, I can't have anything. And, I'm just going to penny pinch and be a miser. No. We're not misers over here. We live good. We live real good, truthfully. But that's not because I got Lamborghinis outside. There's no car in the driveway. I got a bicycle out there. You get what I'm saying? There's no car out there. I'm on the road. Big old house, renting it, Airbnb. There ain't no car out there though. There's a bicycle out there. I started getting crafty. Started getting resourceful. See, you got to get crafty. You got to get resourceful. See, you want to break free from debt. You want to break free from slavery. You want to break free from living paycheck to paycheck. You want to break free from living that 9-to-5 job that you hate. Not saying you're not going to work. Not saying I don't work. Oh, I work. But I work the way I want. See, I'm designing the life in a unique manner. It's like tailor design. You ever go get a suit that's tailor made for you? Well, I haven't. I've never gotten a tailor-made suit, but I can only imagine. Dang, it fit good. Dang, it hug my body over here. Dang, it feel good. Dang, the legs of the pants, they just hit right at the top of the shoe. Man, the cuffs, they fit right. It showed the jewelry nice. It fit my back real nice. It fit the shoulders real clean. You get what I'm saying? It's a unique fit. It's a very unique fit. You start plugging holes. What do I need to do to plug the expensive doctor's expenses and, medicine expenses and, how do I plug that? Well, I stay fit. I work out. I train my body. I put good things into my body. We splurge. We do the unhealthy thing every once in a while. Then we reel it right back in. For the holidays, that one day, that 24 hours, oh yeah, let's get it. Let's eat. But after that, anything left over, throw that crap out, man. Reel it right back in. That's what you could do in a lot of areas of your life. Have fun, splurge. But know when it's time to can all that other stuff and reel it right back in. Because we got other desires in our life. We got other things we're trying to tackle in this life. Like freedom, like choice, like autonomy, like the ability to negotiate areas of my life, such as, boss, I'm only working 8 months out of the year, 10 months. I need 3-day weekends every week. But you cannot get to that point in your life if you what? Living in payments, living in debt, living in slavery, living in bondage, living paycheck to paycheck, living way above your means. See how I started with what? The spending. I learned how to give. I learned how to save. And what am I doing? I'm just continuously evolving in those 3 areas when it comes to my money. I'm just continuously evolving. And then a year goes by, and you see a little change. Then a decade goes by, and you say, What the? Then 2 decades go by and you say, babe, come look at this. You're at the computer on that spreadsheet. Say, babe, come look at this for a second. We're getting wealthy. We're building wealth. Now, you might not have Bentleys and Bugattis and a big old mansion. You might just live in a one-bedroom condo on the water, 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom house. You might not have all the luxuries of life. You might not have every nicety. I'm not speaking in this like you're going to be some rich mega millionaire. I'm not saying that. That ain't what I'm here to say. What I'm here to say is, remember the suit? That uniquely tailored suit where the sleeves and the cuffs fit everything well, and the jewelry pop out real nice, and it fits your curves, and it hug your body, and the pants hit right at the top of the shoe. You get what I'm saying? It fits you. Other people might got a different fit. They might desire something way different. I'm talking about you though. And you start looking around like, oh, let's not do the comparison thing. Because a lot of the world, especially in the 9-to-5 world, in the corporate world, it's all status. It's all, let me be dominant. Let me be status. Everybody's status hungry, man. Everybody got time for all that. I'm trying to design a life that fits me well so I can do 3 things with my money: give, save, and spend the way I want to, the way God intends for me, my specific life. I might not be the person that give away $10 million, but I might be the person that give away $15K a year. We give around like $15,000, $20,000 a year. We give it away. We spend around, X amount of $1,000 a year. We spend, we invest like our savings rate right now is we're saving about 30, 40, 50% of our income. My savings rate right now is about 49%, 52%. You get what I'm saying? It's a tailor-made design, but you don't get there in the status game, in the comparison game. But really much, that was my journey, of financial education. That became my journey of financial education. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of crafting. It took a lot of thought. It took a lot of resourcefulness. But we're moving the needle. We're moving the needle in the direction that we're trying to go. And I'm not saying that, I'm where I want to be, or I'm saying I'm where I'm at and I'm enjoying it. Forget all that other stuff. That's when life gets fun, when you are not worrying about, I'm not where I want to be yet. No, I'm right here, right now, and I'm loving it. You get what I'm saying? That's how I want you to be. I want you to be right here, right now, loving it. That's what you call a tailor fit. Oh, there's better fabrics out there. But this right here, it fit well. So look, y'all. If you stuck around for this, 34 minutes, click the link below. Go to winningwithisaac.com. Grab the You Can Win budgeting system. It'll come with a 1-hour tutorial video. It's something I have used for many, many, many years, and it has evolved over many, many years. It's not something I made last night, last week, last year. It's something that evolved. And when you do purchase it and you look at it, you'll start to see like, okay, he probably started just with this little area, sort of tracking his money this way, and then it evolved into a lot more of this. It's not very complex. It's pretty much, it's straight, it's a straight shot. It ain't, a bunch of pages. It's one page that's going to help you identify and get a clean overview of your entire financial situation. Use discount code YCW. That's Yankee Charlie Whiskey. That'll get you an extra, depending on the day that you're watching this, an extra 10 to 15% off. And I wish you a lot of blessings on your journey. Look, y'all, you can win. But like I always say, you gotta man sure want to win. See you on the next one.